Former Foreign Minister and former High Commissioner to the UK for Australia, Alexander Downer, joins me live from London. Alexander, you must be enjoying Prince Harry's antics in the US.
It's quite extraordinary because, as you say, he did want to get away from it all, and he just seems to have become obsessed with getting himself into the media, and in doing so, creating huge controversy. But he's made himself very unpopular in the UK, and I think calling the First Amendment bonkers will do him a fair bit of damage in the US as well.
Yes, he's not quite as shy about the media as you were back in the day when I was your media advisor.
Well, I'm not sure what to say about that.
Now let's get on.
What's your advice?
Get out there and don't make any mistakes, I think, generally. But I think onto something more serious, and something you've had a keen interest in for a long while, and that is the opportunity for a free trade deal between Australia and the UK. It seems to me that it's taken longer already than we might have expected, but it looks like it's imminent.
Well, I don't think it's taken all that long. I mean, we started the process after the Brexit vote in 2016. But having said that, the actual negotiations have only been going on for a year or so, and they're coming very much to a conclusion now. We're waiting to see today, this day, Thursday, what decision the British cabinet makes on the latest offer to put to Australia. But the Australian government has said, well, free trade means free trade. UK goods will be able to enter Australia duty and quota free, and we expect that to be reciprocated. So in the UK, there's some party politicking and the usual sort of malarkey about whether free trade's good or bad. But my guess is the British government will probably go for that offer, with some phasing in of reducing tariffs on beef and sheep meat.
Yeah, meat seems to be an issue, and it's interesting, isn't it, the whole cycle of history, because now we're getting back to putting back in place what we had really before the UK joined the common market, which was seen as such a blow to us here in Australia. I remember you saying quite some time ago that it should be one of the most open free trade agreements around, that our economies are fairly complementary. Do you still think that's the case?
That's right, and there's some concern though in the UK about Australian beef and sheep meat flooding the British market, but I mean it wouldn't be possible. It's just so far away. The costs of transportation are so high. We could only really sell high quality, top of the market beef such as Wagyu beef, and ditto with sheep meat. So I don't think they've got anything to worry about. But there's a lot of politics in that, and it goes including to the issue of Scotland and the push for Scottish independence, where the Scottish National Party is now running a line that Scottish farmers will be wiped out by Australia. I mean, it's certainly not going to happen, but it's a way of attacking the Westminster government. And so all of these issues inevitably play into domestic politics.
Now, I can't let you go without getting your thoughts on the Middle East crisis. So, we've been there before. There's no doubt that Hamas, to a degree, are testing out the will in Washington. What does Joe Biden need to do to help resolve the situation as quickly as possible?
Well, I think it's very disappointing that the Americans aren't focusing on the core issue here, which is it's actually Iran. I mean, where do Hamas get the money from and the rockets from? They get it from Iran. They get some money from Qatar as well. But all the rockets and the rocket technology and the military strategy is all developed in Tehran. So the American administration should be focusing very much on the role Iran must play in stopping this sort of behaviour in the future. But the fact is that what is any government going to do? Israel has had something like 4,000 missiles, rockets, fired into civilian targets in Israel. President Biden is saying, well, the Israelis should stop retaliating. Well, just sit there and allow the rockets to land on innocent people in Israel. I mean, it's completely unacceptable, and huge pressure should be brought to bear on Tehran, who basically are behind Hamas, to stop Hamas firing the rockets. So as long as the rockets are fired, the attacks on the targets, particularly within Gaza, will just continue, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's a moot point. You stop the supply of rockets, then you stop the conflict of the situation. Force people to talk, perhaps. Thanks for joining us, Alexander. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, Chris.
Alexander Downer there again, the former foreign minister here in Australia. He's very right there when it comes to Iran. If you get those weapons out of the hands of Hamas, you force people to talk, and you certainly stop them raining down rockets on innocent civilians in Israel.